Hey traders, welcome to recap here for Tuesday. My Emini S&P 500 futures trading on a 555 tick chart if you want to replicate it yourself. Overall, a pretty solid day, but a difficult one. Pretty slow to get going early on. We're coming off the long weekend. Sometimes it takes a bit for the market to get going. We're also up near some pretty major high levels, 2100 level that's been in play a lot. So a little bit of hesitation in the market. And the truth here is that even though I did have a good day, 6.5 points on 3 trades, it was definitely a little bit more kind of advanced trading and not something that most beginners, at least ones that I work with, beginner traders are probably going to have a great day here. Probably not going to be a losing day, but just not quite as much points available because I did take a couple more advanced trades that some of the veteran guys and girls at SCA do use. But it just wasn't that straightforward because, especially in here, a lot of chop, very limited momentum. This is when I got going here, right around that New York Stock Exchange open. We had a little push down, a little bit of momentum there, not much follow through. Around the open, always a little bit more dangerous to trade anyways. And really, we were in quite a bullish market, so I had to be pretty cautious here, and we weren't getting a follow through. I was lucky enough to get a fill on an edge here. Had I not got that, probably would have taken a small loss. I'm not a big fan of break evens in most of my trading because I tend to find that when I take break evens or allow that, I maybe don't make the best, most profitable decisions overall because it's kind of that fear of losing that causes people to often take break evens. So I kind of go into a trade knowing that I'm most likely going to either make some profit or I'm going to lose a tick or two, and I'm fine with that. And so I kind of prefer that sort of approach rather than being fine with taking break evens and just getting out of trades. But we worked our way up here into a level, and there's actually a fairly good breakout here to the downside, one that probably could have taken advantage of us being a little bit more aggressive. I was hoping to get a little bit of a pullback here, a bit of after we kind of confirmed a little bit of the break, but just wasn't able to get it, wasn't able to latch onto it. So a bit unfortunate there. Had I been a bit more aggressive, yeah, probably could have taken advantage of it, but no big deal. There's plenty of opportunities to come, of course, and got into here where things got a little bit tricky. So we were into an area where we may see a bit of a deeper pullback. So wanted to see how things were reacting first as we came back into this sort of area in here, and we were holding for a bit, so managed to get a more aggressive short there. Like I said, this is kind of a more advanced trade, and we talked about it a bit in our live training room, and kind of we're talking about making sure that we wanted to see things stalling in here, making sure that we weren't seeing a lot of buying momentum. So definitely a more of a veteran's trade in there. Took this one down. Could have gotten quite a bit more on it if I had been really patient with it, but was just fine with what I was taking in there. And then finally we came down in here, and at this point I was only wanting to trade if I could find something pretty clear, just because of the way the action had been throughout the early part of the morning. We'd already pulled back a bit deeper in here, so possibility of pulling back a bit deeper again, and that's kind of what we saw. So when I couldn't get the early fill, I was kind of just looking to see if things would come back into a level here for something I call a deep level pullback, a specific type of setup with a deeper move into a level with trend and kind of low momentum. And you can see here as we're coming back in, some very low momentum kind of heading into that level, and so an opportunity to trade. And since I was getting in a little bit deeper in line with that trend, gives you a little bit more room to operate as well, where we might get a bit of a bigger move. So I was able to take a bit of a bigger profit here. And you'll notice going back that we had a pretty big swing here, and then the continuation swing pretty large as well, and pretty high momentum. And so I was looking for something kind of similar to these last swings. You can look at this as basically one big swing, if you want, around the same sort of distance as this one. So I was hoping for something sort of similar, if possible, and we basically kind of got that here. And so there's a little bit of stall in there, but was looking for a little bit more that was kind of in line with those previous movements. So essentially looking for a similar sort of extension of the move. And then once we ran into here and we started to consolidate, I was more than happy just to take the profit that was available there within that consolidation, and then just basically called it a day. So a few hours of trading in there. Like I said, 3 trades, 6.5 points. Not easy trading conditions, but hopefully things improve a little bit as the week goes on. And hard to say. We have the non-farm at the end of the week. We're also entering into some summer trading, and sometimes things get a little bit thinner at that time, but hopefully it continues to be all right, and we're able to pull out some decent points. So hopefully you did well, and I'll see you in the next recap.